laugh, clap, cry, whatever you want to do. And here we go. Enjoy.
Give me your hands, show me the door. I cannot stand to wait anymore. Somebody said, be what you be. We could be old and cold and dead on the sea. But I love you more than words can say. I can't count the reasons I should stay. Give me some.
I'm Elijah Jefferson from Yuba Community College, and I'm filming a small but exciting part of our community, the theater. With a little bit of help from those who've worked on and off stage, I hope to show you why theater is an important part of our community.
I can't count the reasons I should stay. One by one, they all just fade away.
Well, local theater, community theater provides avenue for people who have creative bent to perform or produce or be involved. It also is one of the, in its day of reduced budgets in school, it's one of the only places that children can get exposed to the arts and the important facets of the art that are integral to everyday life.
I think community theater is really important because it is kind of the first opportunity that a small community gets at exposure to the arts. Watching kids kind of flourish in the school system when they're involved in theater or music or what have you. And here's an opportunity to have this great captive audience that includes everybody in the theater. We see a little bit of everyone here. So it's an opportunity to kind of unite the community as well as expose this little bitty town to some culture.
The school's job is more than like the 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's about building a whole person. And there are things that the arts have to offer that you cannot get anywhere else. And in terms of discipline and brain activity, becoming a whole human being.
It helps young people establish a sense of self, a sense of creative self, and gives them a great deal of poise and presence, which they can use, of course, for public speaking, they can use in their professional careers. It makes it much easier to go to a board meeting when you're not tongue-tied. And being on stage is a tremendous exercise in self-awareness and self-esteem and self-confidence.
Among the many reasons why theater and the performing arts are important to our community is the education. According to UCLA's Graduate School of Education, consistent participation in the performing arts greatly improves academic performance, nearly a 100-point total difference in the final scores of the SATs. So, without ever having to be involved in the theater, you know that it's greatly helping students in other educational areas.
In movies, it's just people, it's all canned, there's no deviance from the script, but in theater, it changes every single show. No show is the same.
Theater is a living, breathing entity. Each production is unique unto itself. The family that's created in the cast and crew, the duration that you spend with these people, it's really has a life of its own.
Movies are great, they're fun to watch, but the synergy between an audience and the folks on stage is really exciting. And you know, there's the magic that happens. You never see the same play twice. I mean, even if everybody does their part perfectly, the energy is going to be a little different, the audience is going to be a little different, so it can really be an exciting prospect to go through.
Theater and film are on completely different levels, yet theater offers a lot of aspects that movies can't. Live performance is the magic of theater. Physically seeing the emotion and drama firsthand can be very different from watching a screen. Another aspect of local theater is just knowing who is on stage, whether it be a friend, relative, or coworker. As Betsy Johnson said, you see a little bit of everyone at the local theater, which is what makes the performing arts such a deeply woven community. Everyone has ties to it, so everyone is affected by it.
But through the box office and taking reservations for tickets all year and preparing for our 30th anniversary, which is next season, there's been a lot of interest in people becoming season ticket holders, sort of unsolicited. You know, they're like, hey, when can we sign up to be season ticket holders? So I think that our patronage is growing.
And I think people would love it more if they exposed themselves to it. So it's a matter of trying to get the word out and convincing people that, hey, they really will like it. And a lot of people come in and they say, gosh, I didn't know you were here, or gosh, I didn't realize that I like this so much. So we are growing. Each year we've grown. And so it's been really rewarding in this community to see how stable this theater is.
Well, judging by the attendance at our shows here at the theater and at the the performing arts in the community, there's still an interest and there's still a large support base.
The interest in art seems to ebb and flow. I think that we have had periods in the past where arts were extremely important and everyone seemed to participate. And then I think it dies down a little bit as people leave and then other people step into the position. So I think as a small community, I think we're extremely fortunate. We have a lot of very talented, very committed, and very dedicated people.
And then with our classes, we're maxing out and having to turn people away from our classes every month. And we've even expanded our capacity from 15 students to 30 students. We do 2 classes on Saturdays, and they're full. So there's definitely a need in our community for being a part of this place.
While not nearly as big as the Broadway shows in New York, the local theaters of Yuba City are just as vibrant today than it ever was, as more and more people begin to see the importance of the performing arts. Although it has a growing fan base and many positive aspects, theater is far from perfect.
The word gets out there, but some people just don't get the word. And it's not everybody's cup of tea. You can drive by the Cinemark Theater and see 500 cars in their parking lot. And it's a different type of theater. And I think people would love it more if they exposed themselves to it. So it's a matter of trying to get the word out and convincing people that, hey, they really will like it.
I mean, I would take my script to school because I love it, or even the Miss Saigon script when it was at school. I'd be looking through it and people would just kind of look at me, or, people would be like, what are you reading? And I go, oh, it's a script I'm going to play. And they're like, oh, why?
I do notice that we don't have as many young people in the audience or middle-aged people as I would like, but I think that might be because you have this slow progression where the classics are always going to get some attendance, but we're starting to look towards newer forms of entertainment. So I think we need to update our shows that we're producing in order to gather that other audience.
So the theater is growing and is here to stay. To those who want to get involved in the theater, well,
I think that if you don't believe it or don't respect it, I think you probably haven't been a part of it, number one. I think maybe I would tell those people to kind of suspend your disbelief and come check it out. There's good plays and bad plays all over, professional or community, you have to just plug in and at least give it an opportunity.
To judge theater by 1 or 2 performances is really selling yourself short. And so to those people who are not involved or interested in theater, I say come on back.
Community theater is really good in the way that it brings art, it brings just fun to the community.
Well, Pablo Picasso said that art washes away the dust from everyday life, or something to that effect. Being exposed to art, being involved in art, you have your normal everyday routine, which can get tedious and which can get boring, but when you're involved in artistic endeavors, be it painting or behind the scenes or acting, any sort of, arts in general, especially the performing arts, it gives you a fresh perspective on things.
I had a Drama 1 student, shy student from Mexico, English was his second language. And at the end of the year, at the end of the class, he came up to me and he said, I wanted to really thank you. This class has really helped me open up, not be so shy, but also, with my English skills. And that was really neat to hear.
Here's another avenue. Everybody doesn't fit into the same box. But you know what? There's a place for everybody in the theater.
Shakespeare said it too. Every life is a stage, and we're all players here. So let's play big, let's do the best we can, and let's keep theater alive.
So there you have it, an inside look to the magic of theater and how it helps keep this community alive. My name is Elijah Jefferson, and thanks for watching.